Bangin', so name DFTBA today is Wednesday. And guess what? It is Antril. Did I just say Antril?
Well, yes you did.
Today's vlog, we will be focusing on fire ants. The kind of ants that you hate because they sting so bad. These guys are known as kitchen pests. Yes. Outside pests. Yes. Alien ant farm. Yeah, no. They are not alien ant farm. These guys over here are native fire ants. Assuming your first question about fire ants is, are those the ones that sting and it hurts and it stings and it sucks? Yes, that's them. These are also native fire ants, and why we call them native fire ants, because these are the kind of ants that were here when we got here. Unlike those red imported fire ants, which we'll get to in a moment. Fire ants are very social ants. Their mounds are found typically outdoors in sunny areas. Oftentimes, these mounds seem randomly placed, with entrances varying in distance from each other. Like this entrance, which was built between two buried rocks. The gravel was relatively hard, but this was during the cooler months, with more rainfall occurring. In multi-mounded areas, it would not be unlikely that the varying entrances were at one time individual nests growing so large that they eventually linked together, creating basically a
colony.
This happens more often than you think. These guys, on the other hand, believe me, are the real beasts of Las Vegas ants. Red imported fire ants, or R.I.F.A for short. Essentially, they carry the same social instincts as the native fire ant. Follow a pheromone trail here, scavenge a 3-week-old donut over here. Maybe later we'll meet up with Tommy and get real deep inside a Coca-Cola can. All that and more, but with much more angry tendencies, like being extremely aggressive of their territory. These ants are commonly called the most aggressive domestically infesting ant because it not only nests outside, but as well as on the inside of junction boxes, air conditioners, and inside home planter boxes. Also, you'll see their angry tendencies come out when you pour water in their nests, thus making the nest flood and all the red ants come out. But they just don't come out disoriented from the water like they just got flooded. They come out really, really pissed off, and they're gonna sting you. So don't wear sandals if you're ever gonna do that. Oh, and don't think they will not find their way into your home. They will. Fun fact about April. Go! Originally called Aprilis, early Roman calendars are shown to carry March as the second month of the year following March. But thanks to the second king of Rome, called King Pompilius, 2 more months were added to the 10-month year. At his request. Kings request the darndest things. This added 50 days to the 305-day calendar, making it a 355-day calendar. Understandably, you may see a miscalculation or misappropriation of time within this calendar, like the 10 days shorter it is than our current solar year. Because the made-up month of Mercedonius and its 27 to 28 days varying kept the calendar semi-on track with the year, but not on track with the crops. See where I'm going with this? Dead corn! Usually it was the winter month that was unspoken for. Roman board members continued to alter time as they pleased, until Caesar came along and initiated the reform to create a 12-month year, very similar to the one that we know today. These changes moved January and February from the end of the year to the beginning of the year, of the now 366-day year, which, as you can imagine, was still off the beating path of our current calendar year. Kings don't do math, so who really controlled the time? It was the duty of the Roman board members known as pontifices to calculate time. Pontifices also assisted the chief magistrate or public official in political functions or sacrificial junctions, which at the time may have required a changing of certain amount of days to coincide more appropriate with the sacrificial or political function. This negligence to inner calculations caused seasonal chaos for all the farmers who were following this calendar. Dead corn! Needless to say, it didn't catch on, which is why we now have a very similar, but much more scientific and natural Gregorian calendar. I just like saying that. Gregorian calendar. It sounds like some kind of crazy alien calendar.
Well, that settles that.
Indeed, Terrence. Now let's answer last vlog's question of the day. What chocolate bar is considered kosher of insects? The answer. Actually, quite a few. As simply as I can put it, kosher is food that is prepared within biblical law. But this question of the day isn't necessarily about what is kosher, but rather what kind of insects are kosher. According to the rules of kosher animals, only locusts, crickets, and grasshoppers are kosher enough to eat. All others are dirty, like swine. And because only the amount of bug parts can be determined inside of a candy bar and not the actual kind of bugs themselves, like a roach or an ant, or a little worm that happened to make its way into the batter and fall right into there and mix in and get grinded in and separated into 3 million different chocolate bars. Isn't that the life of a worm? The roll of chocolate candy has to be built around how much insect matter is in each individual candy bar. But really, it depends on the pest control and how hygienic the factory is at creating their candy. So with that in mind, Hershey's brings you a list of candies that has just the right amount of bug parts to be kosher. And those are Reese's Pieces Fifth Avenue, Almond Joy, Heath Bar, Cadbury Bar, Hershey's Bliss, Hershey's Bars, Hershey's Extra Dark, Hershey's Kisses, Hershey's Miniatures, Hershey's Nuggets, Pot of Gold, Kit Kat, Mounds Bar, Mr. Good Bar. Insert name, and I will see you on Wednesday. If you like the vlog, or you have comments or ideas about future vlogs, drop me a comment in the comment below, and I will try to answer them, or I will try to put them in the video, or use them, or anything I can really do to make this show better.